Hi, my name's Debbie, and today we're going to make chicken noodle soup, and I'm also going to show you how to make chicken rice soup, but with extra ingredients that make it a powerhouse of nutritional benefits for you. So if that content interests you, click that subscribe button, and let's talk a little bit about chicken soup. So chicken soup has been proven to have anti-inflammatory properties, and it has also been proven to help reduce the severity or the feelings of illness when you get a cold or a flu. And with the ingredients like carrots and celery and chicken and potatoes and onions and chicken broth, it's really nutritious. But we can make it even more better by adding 4 more powerhouse nutritional foods: barley, whole grain barley, spinach, fresh spinach if you have it, or frozen if you don't, turmeric, and fresh ginger. Barley is a whole grain. It's packed with fiber. It helps promote gut health. It helps relieve constipation, and also it helps build a healthy gut, which reduces inflammation and helps reduce diseases associated with inflammation. Eating barley on a regular basis has also been shown to reduce cholesterol levels, to reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes and your risk of colon cancer. Spinach is rich in anti-inflammatory properties and iron and many vitamins. It is very good for your gut health, immune system, and for your eye health. Fresh ginger is a rich source of antioxidants, and antioxidants, they reduce the free radical load in your body, which means they reduce the amount of oxidative stress that your body feels, and that reduces inflammation. So fresh ginger is great, and it can also calm an irritated gut. Turmeric is also an antioxidant. It contains curcumin, which is a very powerful antioxidant. So it will have those same properties of reducing inflammation in your body. This recipe is easy to make, it's very nutritious, it's delicious. So let's get started. This chicken noodle soup is so inexpensive to make. It's less than $1 per portion if you make your own chicken broth, and I have a link in the video description to my recipe on how to make chicken broth. It will save you money. For the soup, you will need 4 celery stalks, 3 potatoes, 5 carrots, and 1½ cups of noodles and barley. I like to use gluten-free noodles. Then you want to peel everything and rinse everything well. I like to chop the ends and the leaves off of my celery. Then I'm going to chop them into bite-sized pieces. And when I get to the part of the celery where it starts to get wider, I'm going to cut it in half. And then for the very ends, which are very wide, I'm going to cut those in thirds. And that's how I keep my pieces bite-sized. Then I have my stock pot. It's about a 12-quart stock pot, and I'm going to put the ingredients in. I like to chop the ends off my carrots, and then I'm going to cut them in half or thirds or quarters depending on how wide they are, so that once again my pieces will be bite-sized. And then I'm going to chop them into bite-sized pieces once I've decreased the width of the carrot. Then they're going in the stock pot. Then with the potatoes, I'm going to cut them into slices, and then I'm going to cut those slices into French fry sized pieces, and then I'm going to cut them into my bite-sized pieces. So that's how I get my bite-sized chunks with my potatoes. It's an easy way to just make sure your pieces are not too big and they'll fit comfortably in your mouth, and put them in the pan. And if you like this content, then click the subscribe button, and let's get back to the recipe. So now we have chicken broth and water in equal proportions, and then we have the chicken that was left over from my chicken that keeps on giving. And if you want to know about that chicken, check out the bone broth video where I tell you how much I got out of one chicken. Add the barley, put it on the stove, bring it to a boil, and simmer covered for 20 minutes. Now we're going to prepare the spinach and the ginger. You want to chop the spinach finely. You can even add more than 50 grams if you want. Now we're going to prepare the seasoning and flavor ingredients: salt, turmeric, mustard, Italian seasoning, apple cider vinegar, Bovril poultry seasoning, lemon juice, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and pepper. Add the noodles and the seasonings to the pot. Then you can add the liquid ingredients, and sometimes they don't completely leave the measuring cup, so I'll take some of the hot liquid and put it in the measuring cup to make sure I get all of those wonderful seasoning ingredients. Then add the spinach and the ginger, stir, and let it simmer covered for another 20 minutes. Now we're going to make the cornstarch and water mixture. Mix the cornstarch into the water, give it a little stir, and then you just pour it into your soup. Stir the soup and let it simmer for 1 minute. And once again, I use a bit of hot liquid just to get all of the cornstarch and water out of the glass. Now we're going to taste it. Now you may find that it's a little bit too sour for you. If that's the case, cut down on the amount of lemon juice and vinegars that are added. And this is the finished soup. Doesn't that look delicious? It's amazing. I just love it, and I make this all the time and eat it often. So now let's look at how much it actually costs to make this soup. Here we have the food, then we have the quantity. I buy it in the grocery store, and then we have the units, and then the price for that food in the grocery store. I split it all down into grams to make it easier to do the calculation. And then I've got my recipe quantity in grams, and I multiply that times the price per gram to give me the total cost of each ingredient per the recipe. And if we go down to the bottom, we'll see that I got 22 cups, which is 19 or 17 portions, depending on your portion size. So this recipe costs 77 to 87 cents per bowl of soup. That is really good value. Inexpensive, nutritious, and delicious. You can't ask for more. I didn't include the cost of the chicken broth and the chicken because I made those things from a chicken carcass that was going to go to the compost anyway, so they were basically free. You can't have better value than this. So check out my recipe on how to make bone broth, and you will find out how to really get value for your chicken. Now, let's try this chicken noodle soup. I added some extra fresh spinach because I still have some. Let me get a soupful. It's so good. It's so good. And packed with nutrition. One of my top recipes. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to make chicken rice soup instead, then do not add any noodles to the soup. And at the end of the cooking, add 3 cups of cooked rice. It's that simple. If you like this content, click the like button, then subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you're notified every time I upload new videos, and share the recipe with your friends. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and stay well.